of people look at this as we always do that. If I'm this close, I'm not going to do this. If I come in and he moves away, then I might have to do that. So one of the things you have to remember is we got 6 gates. So in this instance, I'm going to cover my upper left, my mid left, and my lower left. When you raise this leg up, don't point the shin. Move this way for a second. Because he can kick me in the shin if I do this. So I turn so when I hit the side of my leg, the muscle. And I use this to cover it, right? Another thing is that don't do this and then enter. Because he can kick me as I do this and then push me off balance. So when you're doing Ichi Kimyo Ma, your knees don't exactly point in. They point to like the apex of an imaginary triangle. This is the base, and the knees point here. So if I'm in the side neutral stance for a front stance, I have forward intent. So I can raise my leg up. Like if he does a low kick to my leg, I can raise it up and do something, right? So you bring your knee here and then circle. Just like in Sifu Tao, some lineages don't do this, they do this one, but all lineages of Wing Chun eventually do the circle step, the Kyun bird, right? So when I enter, forget my hands, when I enter, I circle so I can get to the blind side. So don't enter and just fall straight down. If I do the circle step, I can dictate where I'm going to land. If I just let gravity take me, I'm going to fall wherever gravity takes me. So when I do the entry, so I'm going to have you train with a partner, so you're going to hold your guard up. Your partner's not going to do anything. You're going to do entry, come around. When you do this, bring it here and come around. Okay? Get a partner train. It only works if I get on the wrist. I touch the wrist and I circle around. If I go too far and he's throwing a punch, if I circle, he's going to hit me. So if I go too far in, I lock and do something else. So this only works when I do the wrist. I touch his wrist and come around. Also, this is used for response. So I do this, see? So when I go here, forget the leg part, see? And then do that. So from here, and then strike. Okay? Now remember, you don't have to do this. If I'm here, I just do this. If I come here and he moves back, then I would do that. Don't initiate the attack by doing this. Everybody sees us do that. Once you do that, somebody's going to go, okay, take you down or not be there. Okay? Go ahead. A lot of things that Wing Chun were developed for the fighting styles of the region. So, back then they didn't have guys doing, leaping and bobbing and doing stuff like that. So, let's do this without the entry part. So he's got his guard up, and I'm in the front stance, I do this. I go towards his eyes. He's got a choice. He let me hit me in his eye, hit him in the eye, or he moves my hand. So when he moves my hand, I use that. Because with Wing Chun, you don't resist, you don't fight straight. So when he touches me, I circle around. I grab here and pull him into this strike. So like this for a second. This is what happens. This is his neck. See? I'm pulling his neck into the strike. When you hit the back of the neck, you make a cup. So it's like a little suction. I don't do hard. See that? The base of the neck. Right? So I fade and pull him in to this strike. So the rhythm has to be, so you can't go 1, 2. It's got to be, okay? So nice and slow. Have one, so your partner stand, just go here, and you do something here, and then strike. Let's work on that. So basically I go, right? Okay? Try to with the partner. Okay? So when I do this, if I do this, I'm open to an elbow or you can shoot or something, So when I go here, I keep this to protect that gate. And I pull it into the strike. This chest and arm, okay? Make sure that when you do this, your elbow's down and don't leave the flank open. Okay? Okay, without killing me, once you see the line open, tap me on my forehead. Go fast, see? So a lot of you are doing this. And a guy who's fast, he's gonna shoot that out. I go from here. See, if I do this and retract it, if I load it, I'm gonna get hit. So in Cantonese, the best translation is dart. Some people say thrust, but a thrust can be slow. Dart implies like a dragonfly, darts in the air. So from here, I go right away. If I do this, load it, I lift the line open. So don't pull your hand back before you go forward. Don't go back to the forward. Just right from here. This is not even a committed strike. It's just fake, just to elicit a response, right? And then strike. And then to turn around the body at that point. So do 10 each time, each side, with your partner, and then move up from there. Okay? So you gotta remember, when I do this, go for a shoot, a takedown, right? So I want to lock out here, pull him away. So you look like you do a bad lock. You pull me in, you go for a takedown. I'm not a grappler, it might not be a proper takedown, but a street fighter would do any kind of takedown. So he wants to pull me over here, so I have nothing to get. So make sure you lock away from your body. Don't lock him into your body, okay? So this can work also defensively. So, see? I pull my hand back. No one's gonna hold their hand out for you in the street. So I punch. He's got the technique. Oh, that's good, man. Okay? So I pull my hand back. He makes contact and then hits me. Okay? Pull it back.
On the elbow in.
Yeah. And if you don't get the neck, you may pull, step back too far. You take what you get in the fight. So he moves back, then I do this, or whatever I can do. I take whatever I can get. If I don't get this, I can do a double lock, or I can just lock and hit. So I go here, and follow in, okay? So sometimes I can pop your punch and pull back. If you don't get the neck, all right, take what's available, okay? Try that. So we're gonna do a take on this where there's interruption section that we're doing. So if I do this, I can also do a chin style, right? So some people may not have the skill set to do that, bow style and adjust, right? So I just go here, use this arm. See? So when he pulls back, I've covered the line, so if the other hand comes, there's something there, right? So I go here, do that, or if I don't get the neck, I take this hand and change it to a down style or a pop style, okay? So shooting style is what we're going to be doing. Shooting in Cantonese means to thread, like a needle going in the material. So when my hand goes underneath, it's a shooting style, okay? So I do this, cover the line, I can do this, I can check, I can block and strike. So let's work on that. Here, check, whatever you want to do from here. Okay? Redmond said, when you do the chun, to rub your hands. And he said the Redmond would look at his hands and say, there's hair in your arms. You're not going to do chun? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yep. So when I do a chun, listen. And this is why. So let's look at this real close. Can you guys come over? You can see this? So I got contact with him. If I do this for a fraction of a second, I lost contact. So I'm touching in here, and I touch my own arm. So I can feel, I have sensitivity if he does anything. And then I exchange. So I never lost contact. I got contact here, and for a fraction of a second, a millisecond, two hands are on the other one. You can't leave it there because he can trap, push down. So you pull the other back. So I never lost contact. So when he throws that punch, I cover the line. See? Say if he threw two jabs, I still cover the line. Say if he threw a jab and around. Oh, the other hand, it's okay. I cover the line. Okay? So when he does that, he pulls back, right? And then I can lock or whatever I want to do from there. Remember when you lock away from you, so you get the kidney shot. You hit a person in the rib cage, the side, if they're built unlike me, they're gonna not hurt much. But you hit anyone in the kidneys. Even in boxing, it's illegal to hit in the kidneys. That's how deadly it is. So when I do this, I want to turn, right? Now, another thing for smaller people or women, some guys have big forearms, so you can't do a good lock. But luckily, there's a separation of the muscles right there. So, see, it's a little handle for you to lock. You can't get your hands around the big person's arm. Right in there, get the lock there, okay? Right? Okay. So for the dummy form, see, I bring my hand on my knee to my hand. Don't bring the hand down. Bring the knee up. So I protect it here, I protect it there, and I protect it there. So it's like having like a shield. Okay? This is my opponent's thigh, knee, lower leg. So when I bring my knee up, I'm going to cover the dummy's knee. Don't do this, because that means I can get kicked in the groin. So normally we do this, come back and touch it, but the idea of this is I weave the arm, circle around, okay? You don't even have to use this arm, right? You can just do this, circle, check, strike. Then you're gonna step, right? Now notice how I'm kicking and doing the Kunsao. You don't do both in a fight. Usually for a second. If I do this, just push a little bit with your knee. Push me off balance. So you're either gonna do strike and do this, or you're gonna go and do double. You're gonna do either two-hand, a double lock, and the stomp kick, or you're just gonna do this without the kick. So we've already done this part, right? So you're gonna step, turn the body, that power synchronity. So we'll do it the other side. Let's do this way. This way. So I come here, I strike, I use this to turn his body. Right? Or I can do this, do the double stomp kick. Okay? So after I go this strike, I turn the body. I see some people do this, and then they hit. You got delicate bones in the back of your hand. It's not a strike. All I'm doing is turning him so I can strike. Another thing you don't want to do is once you've done this, don't step back. Because now I step back into the line of the strike, and when I turn him, I'm only going to hit him in the side. So from here, I step to the strike, then I get him in the upper arm, and now I got the kidney shot. That's what you want to do in the kidney. Okay? So let's try that. Let's everyone try from, once you've done this, just start from here. Turn the body and strike, and then sometimes do this and do the kick. Now the W form has both. That's not the way you would apply it in the street fight. You got no balance. Okay? Let's try that. Okay, we got this. Touch the arm. Circle around. Strike. Right? Focus out. Make sure I cover the line so the person can kick. Strike, come around, arm break. Ryan? This arm break on the dummy is for a vertical fist. See? If he does a horizontal fist, this is not going to work. I mean, this is my bad. Horizontal fist, that's what that's for. A vertical fist, it won't work. You bend his arm. So if he does a vertical fist, I break this way. Right? For the horizontal fist, I'm going to break that way. So the dummy is showing for horizontal fist. So actually what's happening is here, I go here, strike. Okay, he does a back fist, he does a round punch. Okay, there's another punch. I cover, strike, arm break. Okay? Make sure that when you do this, that you cover in case he kicks, cover that line. And see, in this instance, I break the arm down. So in the dummy, you can do arm breaks this way, or you can do arm breaks that way. Use your imagination. If it's a horizontal fist, you're going to break this way. If it's a vertical fist, you're going to break this way. Okay? So let's try from, we got from here to here, he throws a back fist, and then a round punch. Right? Now I can either step back and do that, or if he pulls his hand back, I'm going to follow him in and strike to the side. Okay? So from here, your partner's going to do a back fist, a round punch, and then strike. One more time. He's going to do a back fist, round punch, here. Okay. Try that. So, what is that punch called? Chop choice. Chop choice, so demonstrate it? Yeah. And they usually use a corkscrew punch, and they use a ginger fist. So, one of the things about the Fuksao in Wing Chun, it teaches you how to move a person's limb from one side to the other without losing this fixed point of space, see? So, in that part of the form where I do this, and he does the round punch, I do this, I keep my elbow down, so I can strike him. If I do this, and my elbow's here, I'm going to get hit. So, keep your elbow in a fixed point. Now, in Silo Tao, you do the fork in your center line. But on this part of the form, I'm doing the fork on my central line. So when we start our form out, and we do this, we're defining what we call the central line. I can punch here, 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 as long as my fists are even. any further, one fist is longer than the other one. So for me to hit someone, I have to turn my body. So this foot is on my central line. So I block, check, come around, and do the arm break using my waist. Okay? So it's nice and slow. There's an arm punch. Let's just break it down. I bring my leg up in case he throws a kick. See, I check. I don't want to just do like this and leave myself open. So he goes the punch, and he tries to do like chop choy. I keep my hand here. See? If I had my elbow out here, there's an opening for it. You do it up too. I will block that one. The Selgan, the double gun, this is the gansao, this is the lansao. Like in Sifu when you do the lansao here, well in the BG form there's a vertical line. See? So this is a horizontal line, there's a vertical line. So I'm doing a gan and a lan. And this comes in, let me go on the other side. Is there a chair here? No? Okay. Okay, here, okay. Put your foot on his back. Just let him, but just lay your foot on his back. Raise your foot up. Okay? Now raise it up. One finger. Okay? Sorry. Okay? So at the end of the extremity is the weakest. So when he does the punch, well, let me bring your arm down. He's strong. I can't bring his arm down. But if I go to the wrist, it's the weakest part of the limb. So when you're doing this, you kind of actually go to the wrist to bring the person's arm down. So he does the punch. Why is this in here? In case he punches low. No. No. Run. See? If he punch, see, I got both covered. Okay? So I have to slide down. So when the dummy, don't bang, put your arm this way. Don't bang the dummy arm this way. Slide in to get the wrist. See, now I can pull his arm down. I mean, I can hold this, lift your hand up. 2 fingers, you can't lift his arm up. Because I'm at the end, now here, see, okay, I can't hold it. So when you're doing that, remember, you get the wrist, right, check. Now if I strike on top, I have to come underneath to the arm break. If I decide to strike on the bottom, I can do the arm break here, okay? So let's just take this part of the form. Have your partner round punch, sword around, strike, let's work on that. Work with somebody you haven't worked with, so you get different body types. We want to have our palm, the wusao, with your thumb parallel to the tip of the nose. So he throws a round punch to my face. I'm blocking with this part of my palm. It protects this part of my face. If my hand was any lower, his fingers would push through. Now some Wing Chun ladies just do a wusao here, and that's okay. We just have to cover our hair. So this wusao is good, but most street fighters or professional fighters are headhunters. So I want to block here, and then the bone saw supports it. Okay? So basically, when he does the punch, I'm doing this. Wusao is practice in the form, pulling back, but it's applied this way. So I'm actually striking his arm. It calls trauma. And on the inside of the arm is the inside of the arm, there's not much muscle to protect the nerve endings on the sympathetic nervous system. So this hurts after a while. So, so I want to block and strike. Now most people do this throwing both arms out, but you gotta think like a pianist. He's playing one rhythm with one hand, one with the other. You can do this. So this hand strikes, this is yang, right? This one's yin, it's nice and soft. So don't just throw both arms out. You wanna use both hemispheres of your brain independently. This one's going out, this is lifting and rolling, nice and soft. So, hold your arm up for a second. So I'm doing, as opposed to just, throwing my arms up, like a Neanderthal, okay? Right, so, right? Now, when I stop this, when he pulls his hand back, so in classroom, in the dummy form, we have this, and then that. That's probably not gonna happen because no one's gonna punch him over the arm. So he throws the punch at me, he pulls his hand back, I follow him, or strike like that. So we're gonna have you start out with the front stance. Your partner's gonna throw to your open side. Let me get you some terminology. This is my closed side, this is my open side. He's gonna round punch to my open side, pull his hand back, and when you pull your hand back, I do the tan and strike, or just check in and strike. Check the elbow and strike. So straight, does the punch, it goes back, go back, go down, right? Big strike, okay? Let's try that. He's punching to the open side. Okay, so I block, when he pulls back, this is probably going to happen more so than doing the time. This is the traditional way, you know, do the time. But my preference is when he pulls back, take the straight forward. Now if he punches to my closed side, I'm going to do a view. And like I was saying about the soft part of the arm, one of the things I like to do is have big guys punch at me and I do a view side. And it's like they hit a wall. A lot of people don't believe this works. When he punches as hard as he wants, eventually his arms go, stop! Okay, stop. Okay? I mean, I do this with big guys all the time. And then I tease them and say, come on, you can't punch harder? Then they get mad and I really mess up their arm. Okay? So this is to the closed side. We're going to work on the open side too. So first he's going to do closed side. Oh, that's not my bad. Open side, and he pulls back. Just follow in. Something from there, and you add this. Okay, now this sweep, do it to the back, your shoulder, your partner's shoulder. Release this. Okay, like a cup. You know what I'm talking about, right? To the base of the spine, the G pillar they call this spine, right? The base of the neck. So that's gonna be the slight and then elbow. Let's just add that. Okay. So he punches to my, don't have to do it hard, to my closed side. And I do the view, right? Now don't view on the bicep because you can, you know, so I want to get here. Now, the way you do this, if you envision a box, my guard's in the middle of the box, I thrust out to the upper right-hand corner, and that is, okay? So from here, he does the punch. So he punches to my, here, and he's probably, if he's doing a round punch, he's going to be pushing that way. He's going to be trying to hit me. So when he does that, that's the finger jab to the eye. So watch, he pushes through, I let it go, see? Then block. So he does the punch. Right? Now if you got gloves on, so you don't, you know, you go for here, that could be a guard, and then take the gloves. Okay? So view. Now when I view him, I'm trying to stop him with this joint open. I'll give you an example. Same hand, jab, round punch, and then. See how I lock him? The joint's open. That's a weak position. I got his elbow behind the shoulder, so push. It's hard to push. Now if his elbow is here, he can muscle me, right? So same principle, he does that again, here. So with the open joint, it's a weak position. You can test it with a partner. If you have the elbow behind, you can't push. The joint's open. So same thing, so he does the ground punch, just the ground punch, view. Then we're going to work on, to train you how to do that, a jab and a round punch instead of the blind side. Okay? But first we're going to do the close side. He pushes through, here, hit here, wherever you want to hit. Okay? These are different partners, somebody you haven't worked with. Throw the round punch to this. If I do this, he's got my elbow. He's going to press it, he's press it. Right? If I do over here, he doesn't have my elbow. So, when he does the first punch, if you go like this, that's weak. He's got my elbow. You can tap it with that hand, or you can lock it with that hand. So when he does the punch, he's pushing through. Not keep going. Because if he's trying to hit you, he's going to be pushing through. So if he's this close, I'm taking it over my head, see? So it doesn't matter how close he is, he pushes the punch, I take it over my head. But so the thing about this is though, don't reach out here, because I've given him my elbow. Right? So when he punches, he pushes through. See? Right there. So when he punches, so if he's really trying to hit me, he'd be punching here. So I'm in the back. See? This gets me right there. See? Now I got his elbow. See? And if I try to reach out here, see? Who's your Sifu? So, right? And then from here, you can do something from there. So this is an elbow break. Pull and push, and you use the U-link for waist. Okay? So he pushes through. Some of you are still kind of reaching out. It's not a swipe. Snake. This is a snake and a straight strike. So the person's really trying to hit you, they're going to push through. As he pushes through, this goes straight. So then I just got the elbow. Okay? Be careful with that one, please. Okay?
Go slow.
I'm moving away. When you just, oh, so you do it rough punch. Okay? Right? Do it again. So he does here. See? I'm going to take his balance. I'm going to keep the elbow behind his body. So say me you do a few of these and I'll just, okay? Now look at this left south. It's on my central line. So when you do Sifu Pow, you define an imaginary border. So I pop, I central line lock. You could do a center line lock, but against a really good fighter, if I do this, bam, you pop. So it's safer for me to go here, right? And then I got that, what I'm gonna do from there. And the thing about this, if a big guy is punching at you, the Haymaker, once he's landed, he's got the torque, gives it all the force. So the idea behind this is to get him here, right? Before he gets that. So when he does the first pop, I'm already pushing forward, see? So, in single pop, we got a pop sound goes to the side, that's a one pop. Then we have this pop, the play pop, forward pop. So I'm already pushing forward, see? I didn't get a good chance to wind up. Because once he winds up, if he gets a good, just do it off. See here, I think he hit me. So as soon as I see the wrong punch come, I attack it. Because he's weak here, he can't push. You can try with a partner. Put your partner's elbow behind their shoulder, the joints open, they can't move. That's weak. Doesn't matter how strong the person is, certain physics, right? So we're gonna work on that. Pop, he does a punch, pop, you got that lock. It's got a center line lock, so your central line. You keep your eyes on that hand. What's the rule? Touch one hand, watch the other. So it's gonna come, whatever, right? Okay? Okay? Try that. You seem like a pretty strong guy. Come here for a second. So,
give it to me before he disappears.
When he does the first punch, and you do the rumble, and don't try to get the bicep because you can get here. Don't try to get here. Try to get the bend of his arm. But for a really strong person, that still might not work. So do the jab and rumble. See what I'm doing? I'm resting my arm on his arm, creating leverage.
Okay.
So I couldn't stop Sifu Maza's round punch. He's strong. So Sifu showed me to do this to help. Same thing for a woman. You don't want to try to do just with the hand. So you lay your arm here. So just do a round punch. I'll show you something. See? I got the whole leverage. I got the whole arm. And I try to keep the elbow behind the shoulder, so push. You have no strength. Now you're a big guy pushing now. You strength. Push me that way. Okay? Now try to push me. Can't. Okay? So the joints open here. So you're gonna pop and then see? Rest your arm here. Okay? And since this punch is coming towards you, you don't want to do a thumb lock. You want to keep it on top. I mean, I can lock here with my thumb because I'm attacking. But if it's coming at you, you don't want to do this because you may misjudge and break your thumb. Okay? So he does a straight punch and a round punch. Right? I got his balance now. Okay? Try that. And then bring this across your face. But you have to be stepping back to do that, otherwise I'll bring you the finish into that. A little bit on that later. Let's just keep it basic now. So 3 pops, pop, 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 bring it across your face, chin out, side palm, straight. The only punches in the Wing Chun is to the body. Because the fist is young, the head is young. You don't want to hit to the face with the fist, unless you train your fist. But it's better to hit to the face with the soft part, to the body. Okay? So let's do that again. So 1, 2, 3, chin out, side palm, strike, the other hand palm. This is the form. 2, side palm, strike. Then he does what punch you can do that. Right. But for combat application, I'd probably be in the front stance and punch. I'd go here, here, bring it across my face, and I'm moving back. If he's standing here, bring it across my face, it makes sense. Then I have to push it up. Right? We're going to work on that. So we're going to do the front stance. 1, 2, right? Side off, straight. Okay? Let's try that as a punch. If it's on this axis, you go down. So if it's too close, you step off line. So he does the punch, I go here, I'm not gonna bring it by me, so I step off and do the side palm here. Right? So, which is from here, okay, it's too close. I bring this around, move away from the other hand. What's the rule? Touch one hand and watch the other. Okay? And I'm controlling his balance with this, so if he tries to kick, I can sense it. Once you touch somebody's, like, I'm gonna close my eyes, okay. See? You feel it, vibration. So, see, I got this, I got his balance, side palm here, to the carotid artery. Do this to your neck, everybody. Try to get that to do this if you can. You feel how much that works? It can knock you up. Right? So,
Go ahead, try it.
yeah.
Let's see who's getting hardest.
So it's just deep. I just step offline. Right? So then from here you got the knee. Okay? So the boxer looks for that. If you're on the heels, it knock you out. If I'm on my heels, I'm at the end of my balance. But if I'm on the balls of the feet and I'm pushed, I can do this. Right? But if I'm on the heel already, and you want to be on the balls of your feet so you can push off. I may go in to attack you and you pull out the straight laser. I gotta back up. If I land on my heel, it's hard for me to back up. So I want you all on the balls of your feet. Okay? You saw, right? So if I stand square, I envision a box here or either on the floor. I view from my center to the upper right hand corner with this hand, or the upper left hand corner of the square with that hand. View G goes straight out. View Sows start in the center and thrust out. They dart out. Don't sweep across. It's a straight line from the center of your square. Boom. It's not a swipe. So if I'm in a front stance, the same thing. I still have that square. So I go out here. So if we're cross leg, before I would show you attacking, now we're defending. He throws a straight punch at me, we'll lead him. See? So I've created what?
Bridge.
A bridge, right? So he throws the punch, do a Street Fighter's punch. See? I've done this. So all you have to do is just do this. I want you to train these. Just to do that. When you come, just go straight out like that. Okay? And then I'll show you a follow-up, but let's get that first. Right. And see, in this instance, I break the arm that way. So in the dummy, you can do arm breaks this way, or you can do arm breaks that way. Use your imagination. If it's a horizontal fist, you're going to break this way. If it's a vertical fist, you're going to break this way. Okay? So let's try from, we got from here to here, he throws the back fist, and then a round punch, right? Now I can either step back and do that, or if he pulls his hand back, I'm going to follow him in and strike to the side. Okay? So from here, your partner's going to do a back fist, a round punch, and then strike. One more time. He's going to do a back fist, round punch, here. Okay? Try that. Some people can do it in the dummy. This is probably going to happen more so than doing the time. This is the traditional way, do the time. But my preference is when he pulls back, take the strike to him. Now, if he punches to my closed side, I'm going to do a view. And like I was saying about the soft part of the arm, one of the things I like to do is have big guys punch at me, and I do a view side. And it's like they hit a wall. A lot of people don't believe this works. When he punches as hard as he wants, eventually his arm's going to stop. Okay, stop. I mean, I do this with big guys all the time. And I tease them and say, come on, you can't punch harder? Then they get mad and I really mess up their arm. Okay? So this is to the closed side. We're going to work on the open side too. So first he's going to do closed side. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. Open side, and he pulls back. Then just follow him in. We're going to do something from there. I'm going to add this. That's sweep. Okay? Now, this sweep, do it to the back, your shoulder, your partner's shoulder. Release this. Okay? Like a cup. You know what I'm talking about, right? To the base of the spine. The J pillow, they call this part, right? The base of the neck. So that's gonna be the swipe. Just add that, okay? He punches to my here, and he's probably, if he's doing a round punch, he's gonna be pushing that way. He's gonna be trying to hit me. So when he does that, see, that's the finger jab to the eye. So watch, he pushes through, I let it go, see? Then lock. So he does the punch. Right? Now, if you got gloves on, so you don't, you go for here. That could be a guard and there could be gloves. Okay? So, view. Now, when I view him, I'm trying to stop him with this joint open. I'll give you an example. Same hand, jab, round punch, same hand. See how I locked him? The joint's open. That's a weak position. I got his elbow behind his shoulder, so push. It's hard to push. Now, if his elbow is here, he can muscle me, right? So, same principle, he does that again here. So, with the open joint, it's a weak position. You can test it with a partner. If you have the elbow behind, you can't push. The joint's open. So same thing, so he does the round punch, just the round punch, view. Then we're going to work on, to train you how to do that, a jab and a round punch instead of the blind side. Okay? But first, we're going to do the close side. He pushes through, here, hit here, wherever you want to hit. Okay? Get a different partner, somebody you haven't worked with. Do the round punch. You still go here. He does the punch. Well, if he stays here, if he pushes through, I got that. See? Why are you reaching over here? Yeah, okay. The puncher has to push through. Okay?
Everybody got that?
Guys, look. Do the punch and don't push through. Well, then I just got this. See, if he pushes through, I got that. So a lot of you are doing this and reaching out there. Okay? Don't reach out there. You want to focus towards the center mass of your opponent, right? So you did it again. You did. You chase it. You need to straight out that way. It's not. It's a straight strike.
So you try to like feel it and then
come over. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Like a snake. It is. There's the arm. So, right? And then from here, you do something from there. So this is an elbow break. Pull and push, and you use the U-leg for waist. Okay? So he pushes through. Some of you are still kind of reaching out. It's not a swipe. Snake. This is a snake and a straight strike. So the person is really trying to hit you, they're going to push through. As he pushes through, this goes straight. So then I just grab it a little bit. Okay? Be careful with that one, please. Okay? Take up ping pong or something. So when he does the haymaker, I move back a little bit to give myself room. Then I do this, right? So he steps in, see, here, and then do that. Or you get the arm break if you got it. You take what you get in the fight. But he's doing the punch, I get back a little bit. He pushes through, straight out, strike. Okay, and from here, you do from there.
Now, when you go back, are you trying to go on a 45 angle or go straight back? Straight back.
Straight back, because it extends his guard. See? One of the reasons we hold our guard like this or like this, because if I'm fighting a boxer, I can't see. See, look at that. I can't see that stuff. Humans can't see things close to the eyes. So this makes them, plus a tight hook. You can't block a tight hook. You shoot like an elbow. So if I keep my guard out, he can't do tight blocks. See? He has to, see? He has to reach to hit me. So that's why I want to keep my guard out. The old boxers in the old days used to fight like this. See here, I'd have to be in the boxer's game. I'm not a boxer, so I don't want to play their game. So that's why we keep our guard out. So I see that coming, right? Right? If I can't get the arm break, I'll get the strike, whatever you do from there. Okay? Okay? Now look at this lap south. It's on my central line. So when you do Sifu power, you define the imaginary border. So I pop a central line lock. You could do a center line lock, but against a really good fighter, if I do this, bam, they pop. So it's safer for me to go here, right? And then I got that, what I want to do from there. And the thing about this, if a big guy is punching at you with a haymaker, once he's planted, he's got the torque, he gives all the force. So the idea behind this was to get him here, right? Before he gets that. So when he does the first pop, I'm already pushing forward. See? So in single pop, we got a pop that goes to the side. That's a one pop. Then we have this pop, the toy pop, forward pop. So I'm already pushing forward. See? I didn't get a good chance to wind up. Because once he winds up, if he gets a good, just do it on. See here, he can get me. So as soon as I see the round punch come, I attack it. Because he's weak here. He can't push. You can try with a partner. Put your partner's elbow behind their shoulder. The joints open. They can't move. That's weak. Doesn't matter how strong the person is. It's certain physics. Right? So we're going to work on that. Pop. He does the punch. Pop. Got that block. It's not a center line block. It's your central line. Keep your eyes on that hand. What's the rule? Touch one hand, watch the other. So if it's going to come, whatever. Right? Okay? Okay? Try that. So your partner's going to do jab, round punch. I didn't say hook. Remember that. Hooks are tight. This is a round punch. It's different. Okay? We borrow you for a second. Say you throw on the right. A straight punch. See? I move away. So when that punch comes, see, I'm already here when he does a round punch. He does a round punch. You open out that hand, the other hand. See? So as soon as he does the first punch, I'm out of the center. I don't want to stay here in the middle, have to deal with that hand, throw that hand. Throw that hand. And this hand and that, and because I'm only human, you're gonna make a mistake. So I'm here, see? So now, when he does that punch, he's gonna make a big circle. Okay, and another thing, remember, you got the camera? Don't pock at the wrist. If you pock at the wrist, he can make a tiny circle to go around, see? If I pocket the forearm, it's a little bigger circle. If I pocket the elbow, it's gonna make a big circle. So when that punch comes, I pop that way. So now I nullified that hand. So he circles with the other one, and I'm already there. So as soon as he does the pop, watch. Don't pop like this and try to stand here. He's a skilled martial artist, he's gonna pop me, right? So when he, see, I move away. So when he's throwing straight punches, I'm moving away. See, okay? Got it? I use his force, the force of his arm, to set me up. Now notice what I did. I moved offline because he's got kicks too. Right? So when you see, I move offline at the blind side. Okay? Let's try that. When I do this, I go forward. Right? On this first section. On the second section, I leave my foot here because the dummy's not moving back. But in reality, if I'm going to enter, I have to step forward. All right? And when you step forward, open the hip up so that when you land, you're in the proper front stance. If you land like this, you'll be all tied up, okay? So I come in, he moves back. Okay, got it? Let's try that. Arm style, like that. So the first one, he's here, I do the entry, come around, do this. But the second one, he takes a step back. So I change. So hypothetically, I'm doing this, and then I follow him and do this, okay? So you're gonna have your partner, so you're gonna do the future. So you're gonna stay here, and when he comes back, see? He continues that arm, okay? So if I took a half step back, he would just do that jab, that entry. If I don't take a half step back, you just have to do that. Just does this. And the potential to raise your leg up in case you kick, you don't have to do this. And also, you don't want to go up and you slide level. So you don't have to do anything if I do that step back. If I take a half step back, then you do that little entry, leg step, right? If I take a full step back, then you do this. So we're going to have you with a partner, instead of with a right front stance, and when your partner comes in to make contact, close the gap, you step back. Okay? Try that with partner. Let me show you. Okay, so it's the 3 pops. So let's go over here. So 3 pops. Pop, pop, pop. Bring it across the face. Shoot south. Side palm. Strike. The only punches in the wind dummy are to the body. Because the fist is young, the head is young. You don't want to hit to the face with the fist. You unless you train your fist. But it's better to hit to the face with the soft part, to the body of the fist. Okay, so let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, Shun Sao, side palm, strike, the other hand on, this is the form. Shun, side palm, strike. Then he does the next match with that. Strike. But for combat application, I'd probably be in a firm stance and punch. I go here, here, bring it across my face because I'm moving back. Be standing here, bring it across my face, if it makes sense. Then I have to push it up. Okay, we're going to work on that. So we do the first stance. 1, 2, right? Side, strike. Okay? Let's try that real quick. So when I do the jut, my palm flat, the back of my thumb is like a hook. So I can jut and Ryu Ji. So in this instance, I use the back of my thumb to jut him across. Then do the Chun Sao. I can do the Chun Sao this way in case another punch comes. I can lock, or I can just go do the Chun that way. Right? So basically it's bring it across your face. My fingers are always pointing towards his eyes. Chun Sao, side palm and strike. But when you get fast enough, you can do this. See? So, okay? So basically from here, so you strike and then come back. So, okay? But if you can't do that fast, just bring it across your face. Because remember, he's swinging to hit me for real. So I move back. See? Right there. Like I did show you before with the view sao, when you let it go by. So when he does the punch, okay?
Yeah.
And that means that I step back just because I don't want to hit you in the eye. So I move back, and that's there. So in slow motion, he's pushing through. I just help him along and strike. So see? So now this is a fuck sound. It means whisking. F-A-A-K, whisking or brushing hand. So I can't stay here and do it. So I move back a little bit, which is going past me anyway. So it's similar to a Aikido. So if he's coming that way, you let go, or Tai Chi. I don't want to out-reforce. So bring it across. Shoot. Side palm. See, and I use the waist when I strike, see? Use the waist, and then step into that. Okay? And my back's against the wall. I'm not going to do this, bring it into my face. So do the punch, I go. See? Like when you do the single cow form, you got the tan sao, your elbow pivots on this axis, you do a tan. So if it's too close, you step off line. So if he does the punch, I go here. I'm not going to bring it by me, so I step off, do the side palm here. Right? So it's just from here, okay, it's too close. I bring this around, move away from that other hand. What's the rule? Touch one hand and watch the other. Okay? And I'm controlling his balance with this. So if he tries to kick, I can sense it. Once you touch somebody's, like, I'm gonna close my eyes, do a kick. See? You feel the vibration. So, see, I got this, so I got his balance. Side palm here to the carotid artery. Do this to your neck anyway. Try to not to do this if you can. Do you feel how much that hurts? I can knock you out. Right? So,
Go ahead, try it.
yeah.
Let's see who's getting hardest.
So if it's too deep, I just step off line. Right? So then from here you got a elbow. Okay? And I'll show you a good example. Put your fist on my forehead. This is a little bit past my face. Once I do that, see? So if you punch this way, my elbow is probably pointing right here. Once I do this, my elbow points in my center. Plus, anatomically, make a fist. This fits the body. It fits the zygomatic bone. It fits under the jawline. It fits the eye socket. Because with our punch, I want to make his neck go back to give him a whiplash. So by me punching the zygomatic bone, I make his neck go back. If I punch to the jawline, I snap his neck back. And assisted with the jerk too. So you cause trauma to CV1, 2, the central vertebrae. If I want to hit to the ribs go this way, right? So that way. So you don't turn this way, but it's like diagonal. And we teach beginners exactly this way because they tend to do too much. So the guard, see, is like this. Not like that, like you see in the movies. A little bit of an angle. So when I strike, my fist is in the right position. So the fist is this way, not like that. Okay? So front kick, and I go here, and he punches, and then I do side kick. But let me show you something about our side kick. Most people do a side kick like this. Like that. That's called a Haymaker, tiger kick. They do this, and the kick comes back to the buttocks. Our side kick is this. One straight line. So I kick and come back the same path I took out. I don't kick and come back towards my buttocks. That's a real kick in some Chinese systems called Haymaker, tiger kick. So when I kick, I follow the same path out, and we use the heel. Now, if you've trained to kick like this, you've done Pilates and other martial arts, that's okay. But if you haven't, anatomically, it's better to keep the bones in line. It's doing a blade kick, so you're doing this, and you kick straight up. So one of the analogy I give is if you're kicking down a tube, you kick down the tube, you bring the leg back, the same path. You don't let it waver, you don't kick it, bring the leg back. Okay? So this is a vertical stomp. See? Our side kick is a horizontal stomp. Okay? Straight. And the gan plows along the center. So gan means in Cantonese like to plow. So a plow is a blade, goes through the soil. So farmer can plant seed. So I plow. So say I'm inside with two hands, and a kick comes to my open side. I gun south the kick, and then I gum south. Gum is this way. It means penny or retaining hand. When you do a gum south, look, don't do flat hand. This. So you hit with the flat, the beady part of the palm is called the hypovenar eminence or hypovenar prominence. I get them confused. But look, see? So the rule of thumb is whenever I do a palm strike, my thumb is always 2 fingers off the target.
Was that a pun? Rule of thumb?
Rule of thumb, you got it. Okay, so if I do this strike, see? So if I do this strike in the form, it's always 2 fingers off. So when you're doing Sifu, you do those gum sounds, point your thumb up. Don't do this because you'll break your wrist. A kick's coming and you do this, you'll break your wrist. Turn the thumb up. So Sifu Kennedy, say he throws to my open side. See? See? So the gun keeps the kick from coming in, the gum keeps it from coming up. Because some people can throw really fast kicks in 1-2, right? So he's going to do this, so I'm going to go up here. All that? Gives you a nice little present there. Kick to the groin, and then let me do from there. So basically, I just get off mine, all the way to the rear leg, like you kick, without having to shift my balance. If I do this, I have to sit back to kick. That's a millisecond wasted. The person's coming at me, somebody's trying to hit me for real, you don't have time to waste. If I'm in a front stance, it's the same thing. All the way to the rear legs, I can lift my leg without having to shift my spine back. You're going to keep it easy, keep it with the side neutral. So a person's going to round kick to your open side, here, kick to the groin, and you take whatever punch comes. Lock it, straight punch. If it's a straight punch, you pop it. A round punch, you lock it. I can also teach you how to do from the closed side. See? Okay. So let's do open side first. Get somebody you haven't worked with. They're going to do a round kick to your midsection. Here, kick, because they're offering their groin. Once you do this, the groin's right there, just kick. Try it. I'm pushing the leg down. I'm not just doing this, because he's going to come through. So when he does it, I'm going to go. Remember I showed you how you can't raise your leg up at the end of the extremity? So no matter how the guy's kick is, he's only human. He's still got joints and ligaments and tendons, right? So if I'm in the front stance, it's just, I'm not moving, see? and you're using the strongest part of the hand, that hypothenar eminence part of the hand, that palm. That's the strongest part of the hand. We had a hand doctor at our school in Jersey. He explained all that to me. This is, you can take all kinds of power here. You're not using your bone, you're using the back side of your arm. So when you do a gan, the contact point is here. If you block the guy's kick with the ulnar bone, you're going to be messed up. Especially somebody who's kicking banana trees or something. And so you're hitting flesh. So he's kicking, you got flesh. The thing also, I'm not there. I'm doing this, and then kick. So you get the end of the ligament, end of the limb, it's going to be weak. It's not going to have any power. Okay? There's a few other ones we use, but that's one of them. So let's do this a few more times. Then we're going to work on kicks below the waist. Below the waist, you just raise your leg up. You don't try to reach for a little bit. So I disperse or spread. I don't take the whole brunt of the strike on one part of my arm. So when the punch comes, I spread. So when that kick comes, I spread. If you just try to do this to a really strong kicker, you're gonna hurt yourself. So when the kick comes, I spread along the leg. So I don't take any force. Okay? Now I'm doing this to his leg. Watch. I'm not trying to do that. You break my leg. So when you long kicks, you just go. See? And I can direct where he's going to fall. So I may want his leg to go here, because I want to turn to the side. I may want his leg to go up there and do this, right? If I'm on this side and he kicks to the other leg, it doesn't matter. See, just go through. Actually kick it. See? Just like that with both palms. Not close together, spread so you get more of the leverage of the leg. Because remember, the hip connects it, when the hip connects to the torso, this is a really weak connection. It's a really weak connection. That's why you can't raise your leg up if somebody puts weight on the end of the extremity. So basically you're just doing this. Diagonal. It's not hitting it. It's like a nice, cradling, feeling. Basically, guy's got a really powerful kick. So let's try that. Drag his leg down and then kick. So diagonal drag. Okay? Try that.